criticizing you in particular. What I'm trying to do is reduce your workload. Because like you say, you're making like $8, $10 an hour.
1071.
So the way I have thought about helping you out with that is to try to reduce your workload and get some of us other people helping you out. And don't take that as a criticism or as a complaint that things aren't going well. Because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm simply seeing if there's somehow we can help you do everything you do.
John, I would love to have somebody step up. The fact of the matter is, nobody is.
Yeah.
And I don't see that changing, and I don't see anybody doing what I do or having the know-how or the experience or without paying lots of money to do that.
Especially going up through the system. You're growing.
And I appreciate that, I can understand that for sure. But is there anything like even blue states we could look at having help with, or something that they could, you know, someone could just kind of do in general? Is there like one task or something that, you know, we could have people do?
Well, stick right there. Who's gonna weed spray? So far, the town has paid me an hour. They haven't bought a sprayer. They don't pay me my gas. I use my truck. They haven't paid me nothing.
And that's wrong.
That's hard to replace.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's what
I
I'm
have
saying.
not billed the town 1 hour for weed spraying.
That's my whole point, Eric, is,
Phil's volunteer.
I volunteer to spray weeds.
yeah, but there's so much more to it than that. You gotta know where to spray, you gotta get the
You gotta
spray.
know the weeds.
So I understand what you mean, that nobody else can do it, Eric, I understand
No,
that.
no, there are other people that can do it, don't get me wrong.
But that are stepping up.
That
to
will do it. That's what I'm talking about.
They just wanna be paid for it.
Well, and people should be paid
Yeah.
for it. Really, I'm a freak. I hate weeds. I know that. It's ruined me. Everybody else sees wildflowers. I see weeds. It's a beautiful blue flower along our road. However, it's chicory. It's on the list. It's terrible.
How do you sleep at night?
Weeds are attacking.
Not very well.
Everybody, feed me,
So that's my point, Eric,
It's just
I'm
you.
not complaining at all. I'm just saying, like you said, it can't continue this way. You said that yourself. So how can we help?
Give him a raise.
What
Give
if-
him for a raise,
What
for all
if,
of
what
you.
if when you go out spraying, you had someone there that you could kind of, you could apprentice
Tutor.
to show you?
Apprentice weed person.
Yeah, see, my problem is I have a full-time job elsewhere, so all of a sudden I'll just take off on a Saturday morning
Yeah.
or a late night, and because I just will go do what I can do, and that's all I can do. Everybody has 100% of their time, so what you do with that is really up to them. Everybody's as busy as the next guy.
Phil's retired.
Bill's retired, he has,
I don't have a
he has
job.
no time at all.
Nothing to do.
He has no time at all if you're retired.
I keep filling the lifestyle he's accustomed to,
Yeah,
so he's got a lot of time.
he clearly didn't have time for a job. So, I
That's
think it's a
something to
huge
discuss.
issue. I think that unfortunately what happens, and it happens with everybody we know, that your time starts becoming more valuable as time goes on. And so it comes down to, okay, here we are we gonna go work for the town for $10.71 an hour? Are we gonna do something to make some money? I mean, I've heard this for years. Why don't you do something that makes money? Well, it's hard to fire if you don't make no money. They want things if you compensate it, so. I believe in this town, I put a lot into the town, I continue to do that. I do not feel bad putting time into the town. However, I think that in the case of Lynn, we have personnel here, and we have water personnel, and we have people that are offended by the letter. And it's a slippery slope, and they're very offended, and I think we're gonna end up losing people that we.
Which letter?
The last letter that went out,
That I wrote?
yes.
Okay, I think we must have misunderstood it then.
Well, and that's what I heard, that I had misunderstood it, and Kim told me that. I let everybody read it. Apparently, Kim misunderstood it, because everybody else was very offended.
Maybe we ought to get that letter and address it in the next meeting then. Yeah, can we have that as an agenda item, maybe, review that letter?
Because the last thing you want is hurt feelings.
You know,
You read that letter, didn't you, Pam?
I did.
there's
I-
3 or 4 comments on that letter string.
I sent you, yeah, I sent it to everybody.
Yep.
And I think you probably got it, John. I think I returned to everybody.
Well,
I didn't know the mayor saw that. I didn't know the mayor saw that. Somebody
Everyone
sent it
needs
to
to
the
see
mayor, so
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. And when I met with the mayor, he had seen that, so.
And what it was is people were offended, and like you said, probably was not meant to be offended. And where I kind of barked in the beginning of this meeting is I tried to, over so many months, I understand exactly what you're trying to do as far as help the town and get some responsibility off Eric. Totally get it. On the other hand, Eric, I feel if there's too much, he's gonna say, I can't handle this part. I think taking anything away from Eric and what his duties are would be, I mean, if he didn't want him, he'd tell us. If he'd want, that's how I look at it. So he's not telling us he doesn't want to do any of it, thereby he's the best one that can do it. We've been talking about this for a few months, and we've still got to go around the circle here with regards to employee compensation tonight. And we've got to keep talking about what, or we have.
Yeah, we always just,
So we need to have
like we were gonna
amounts.
do, we put it off to the next meeting.
I went and looked up averages, no averages around here, but national averages of all of our positions. We aren't even a tenth of an average, not even maybe 5% of an average of, of what you look up on a national level. And not that we should be that level, but I gotta reiterate, Eric, all of us on this board, on every board in this town, have given lots of their time, and it's just moving forward to where time is more valuable. So with that being said, and everyone probably agreeing, how do we get to a dollar amount for different positions in the town?
Can we look at the budget and see what monies we have left? I don't know, left's never a good word, but I think there should be a raise for the town council. So where does the money come from?
So when we did our budgets, we have increased all those lines for whatever might happen in this arena. It is difficult for Eric to say how much he would want, or I, or Lynn, or anybody else. I mean, it's just a hard one to step out and say, I want this. At the same time, I think all those who spend a lot of time might look at a little bit more, or want a little bit more, because they're taking, nowadays is a lot busier doing everything. It's awkward for anyone to talk about what they would personally like, and it's a council, and I don't know how we get from having a line item to $800 a month for this position and $1,000 or whatever we end up doing, but that's kind of the block, that's the step that we can't seem to get up.
So do you look at a percentage across the board?
Well, if you, so Lynn's gone through the clerks and seen what the clerks need. I went through and saw from mayors to council members to everybody. There's no rhyme or reason, the bigger the city, the more money they're making on every level. So I don't know.
Towns this size though, because there's information out there for that.
Even like Interlochen is,
Charleston.
they're all, my understanding is they're all double with more than, if not triple. Interlochen.
Let's
Charleston.
change it. Why can't we change it?
We can change it. Just a hard.
I vote to change it.
But
Make a motion to
I don't think
change
we need
it.
to do it across the board. I think those doing the work ought to get the compensation.
Well, but again, we can't attract people to these positions
Exactly, so we
without
have to pick some
compensation.
numbers.
If you don't have, you're never gonna do a council person's job for the money in this town, I don't think.
You're not, but where you go out and spend your time, your money, your resources, you should be compensated.
Yes.
Nowhere in this job does it say it'll cost you money to have this job.
Oh, I agree with that, and I think probably we are.
That's not the program.
Well, maybe we should design some kind of compensation program for when you're doing it on your own time, in your own truck, and your own gas. At least keep a log of that, and then start with the compensation program.
In the past what's happened is a lot, whether it's the water system guys or, and that's usually where they're out 5 hours, they BS for a few minutes, they just put 4 hours. I mean, that's how everybody has been so gracious
Gotta
for
be on
this
the
town.
merit
And now,
system.
some people, we're gonna get down, start tack, as the future goes on, there's personalities that'll tack every second, plus an extra,
Yeah, it's
on
a
top.
fact.
And we haven't got to, the folks that I've worked with for the last 10 years haven't been
They
that
go
way.
the other way.
Yeah,
Sooner or later, it's gonna go that way.
it sucks. No easy answer.
So how can we move this line item forward? Tonight, or make a plan to meet again, or put it off till next month? Identify which positions need an increase, and then worry about talk about the increase next month?
Yeah, I think
That's a
we
good
can
idea.
identify those.
The
that need
specific
increase.
areas that need increase, yeah.
I think Lynn, mayor, and climate chair.
Baby
So,
steps.
so wait, here we go, I got Midway's right here. Council member in Midway makes $4,714
A year?
a year.
So what does it come out to a month?
300.
$350 a month.
Okay.
I would argue though that Midway is maybe bigger, does more than us, would you, or do you think we're comparable?
Midway's richer.
Yeah, I think,
Are they meeting
Lot of
once
second homes
a
over
month,
there they
or are
got.
they meeting?
I know, I was gonna say, those are second
We got
homes.
those, how many meetings a month do they have?
Yeah, how many meetings a month? Do they meet once like you guys, or do they meet
And
twice?
are they on any boards that are making also funds?
I'm sure
That's
they
the
are.
other thing.
I'm sure
We're
they
on
are.
different
I have
boards,
Heber Cities
so-
here. Their planner, Anthony Kohler, some of you know Anthony Kohler,
Mhm.
he makes $109,000.
Wow.
This part, I think he should be fired.
That's a. I think you should try it.
That's exorbitant.
You think that's absorbent? I printed off all the planners in Utah. So Riverton City, 90,000, Willard City, 69,000, Associate Planner, Bluffdale City, 48,000, Underwriter Planner, 69,000 Park City, Farmington City Assistant Planner, $64,000. Robert Allen, who we sat in meetings with, from Mountain Association of Governments, $45,000. Provo City Planner, $77,000. Utah Transit Authority, who is big, I'm sure,
Yay.
$77,000.
That Tony Cole does pretty dang good, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say, everyone's in the
He worked his way up from whatever it was.
70 range.
Spanish Fort City Planner, David Anderson, $121,000.
Wow.
Salt Lake Planner, $79,000.
but what about Charleston, Wallsburg?
I don't think you want to look at Charleston, that's Brian Priest, and he also works for the city.
No, I hope they're high,
center.
why wouldn't we wanna look there?
Well, I know, but yeah, I think that he may get, Lehigh City, 31,000. Well, I can tell you on this list who's at the bottom.
You.
There's one other one below.
I just, yeah, did your
What's
math.
what's the second?
Yeah, it is.
$15,600 a year, and Mayor, you're getting $9,600 a year. That's terrible, I'm sorry. And Lynn, I don't know what you're getting, no, you're getting less.
I think we move this along and you should do it on positions, but people. I am hoping to be through with this, and so with this position, I look to what can I offer for, or what can the town offer for the next clerk coming in. I come up with a figure of $24,000 for the clerk a year, I think is reasonable. And I think that's kind of what you have to do. I mean, if Eric wants to be a full-time Daniel Town planner, that would mean him giving up his other employment. And what would it take you, Eric, to want to do this job as your only job? Look at the individuals in the position now, and it can change as the people change down the road, but I don't see how you can just pull a figure out of the air for some future, you know.
But is there money available for a full-time city planner?
We don't have money to
That's
just
what
all
I'm
of a
saying.
sudden.
Well,
So that's what I'm saying, you can say that, but
We're
where's
gonna
the
have to
money?
raise the property
It
taxes.
just gets busier and busier and busier every year. We know that we're gonna need one sooner or later, but we're just not quite there
Kind
because
of
we can't.
teetering, yeah.
Well, and I've had this conversation with Chip before. I feel bad. I don't have the time that's needed to
Do
this
the
town.
way you want to do it.
Right. I mean, there is meetings, I didn't go over half of my paperwork. Heber City is bumping up against us. They're about to adopt an airport overlay zone. That affects Daniel, and
Oh my
you've
God,
gotta
we
be
just
there.
We just saw a big-ass military, full-size tanker thing. going on.
Tanker land.
Right.
We didn't even know that was possible.
And so by the time you know, when you go to the all of the different municipalities, because face it, if you're in Heber Valley, it affects you.
Oh, totally.
And so you have to be involved with these other municipalities, and I feel an injustice and I spend a lot of time, I take a lot of vacation days to meet these meetings that we go to, and I'm okay with that. I just think that we are not gonna attract
No.
to keep this town running with what we're doing.
Are you going to the meetings to get information or to originally get information and then go back with your input? I mean, all the meetings that you're missing that you don't have the time for, is that to gain information so you know how to address it at the next meeting, or?
Not to address it in the next meeting, but to come back and report to this council and to report to the planning of issues that will be affecting our town.
But it takes your kind of special brain cells to understand what they're talking about in those meetings too, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's just not like setting up a tape recorder at a meeting.
Ask a question.
You know, I feel like if I went to a meeting for you, I might not understand everything they're talking about.
I can tell you that the mayor has said, you read the document, I read a document, it doesn't say the same
Correct,
thing.
exactly. That's what
So-
I'm saying.
I think I think that's how you put that. So,
And that's what I'm understanding.
so if you find somebody that's put the town interest first, I think you need to compensate them and keep them
Well,
on
but they
board.
also have the capacity to understand what they're doing.
Well, and
I think
your
there's a
little
lot of,
comment about Tony.
there's a lot of people with the interest to put the town first, but I'm sorry, but you're kind of like a brainiac.
Well, they call me anal, but
No, I can
Brain
see,
anal.
you've got a lot of firing going on there that's way beyond.
yeah.
I need to take a little 5-minute break if I could, and if the meeting can
The mayor's
continue.
gotta pee.
So, see, here's I'm looking at the fee schedule here from Epic, an intern planner, which I'm sure that Ryan can tell us what that is $71 an hour. A planner is $101 an hour, a senior planner is $136 an hour.
That's what your billing schedule is.
Yeah, that's what they bill us. So I just compiled a bunch of that, and I just think that we're way
So
behind.
depressing.
We're so far behind.
Yeah, and I think we should do something about it, and
I
I
think we have
think we
to.
should raise the property tax rate. We bragged
I
about that.
don't think we should, I don't think we need to.
Well, then where are we gonna get the money?
I think we put extra money in there this year to start this process. We've been doing this since 2006 and we've done nothing.
Our property taxes will increase because we've got like 6 new homes coming in within the next little while. Good-sized homes. I mean, I look at how much I pay in property taxes, if you know. And you could bump the property tax a little bit, and I don't.
0.00693.
And that dropped from 695 last year. I mean, is that pennies? It's
Pennies
all,
are
I have no
all
idea.
that.
It's just gonna drop, but you gotta have your.
Because we kept the same $40,000, and it's a formula that the state has, how they figure it out. We just get with the county clerk and.
Stay away from sidewalks.
I'm good with that. I honestly think
Rest of it's hard.
we need to do something about it. We need to quit talking about it and do something.
What's the procedure to increase your salaries? A vote among the council?
I believe that.
Public hearing.
Public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the public hearing?
Ordinance.
No.
It's gotta be
They would have to
announced.
invite the whole.
You have to announce it in the paper so everybody can
Then let's
come.
do that and come up with an increase.
Well, we better have a number before we.
I was gonna say, we gotta come up with some numbers.
So Lynn, would you suggest, like, is your job, does it have benefits?
No,
So that number you gave us of
24,000.
24,000 does not include benefits?
Correct.
And you work 5 hours a day? I think in your message
I
you
think
said
it's
something about that.
about that. I mean, I'm finishing my 4th year and the duties increase. There are so many agencies that towns work with and the clerk just gets inundated with emails, and same with Eric, meetings you can attend and informational things, and you know, it's just mind-blowing how involved it can be. And so I would like to get someone who is very enthusiastic about the job, that has a, you know, wants to learn more about it, wants to do their very best, and I think you are gonna end up having to pay some retirement.
And
I don't see how 5 hours a day can hardly
it-
run
It was figured,
something like that from being a businessman.
when I started, it was $400 a month, and we got a raise to $600 a month, I did. And that was figured on $15 an hour, 10 hours a week. So it came out to $600 a
So
month.
2 hours a day.
There are some days, honestly, the phone does not ring, sometimes for 2 or 3 days in a row. And other days, it's, you know, pretty constant with the emails and just correspondence you have to do. And, you know, there's just a lot of preparation. I mean, the week of the meeting involves a lot of time. The weekend before, the day of the meeting, tomorrow I get, you know, we're still gonna go through the warrants, but the checks,
You gotta print on the check.
yeah, Sherry prints them, I get them, I have to get them signed by the mayor, then they have to be all, you know, organized with the paperwork that's already in the software, the payments. I mean, there's so many different facets to the job, but the week of the meeting involves a lot of time.
I'm thinking that,
now.
yeah, I'm
Well,
thinking we
and
gotta,
that's not, that's the half that she hasn't mentioned, that
yeah,
the times, you know, that
you're just called.
Sunday, I'm on the phone with her. I'm calling her all the time, I need something, we got something going on.
You come to our house at night. I know what your hours are.
Yeah, but her, she hasn't included that. I mean, she is basically on call 24/7.
Well, and I just went on vacation, people don't like to have to answer emails and stuff, but I find it nice that you can still go and handle your business while you're gone. You know, if I have to do something for a couple hours in the morning, I don't mind it at all, just to try to keep up with things. Right. You don't think, if somebody asks you a question, you don't want them to have to wait 4 or 5 days for an answer. It should be immediate.
I'm thinking to adequately address and at least raise any salaries that we ought to address 1 or maybe 2 positions at a time, and that's, and go from there.
I agree, that's a good idea.
So we keep it narrowed down. Once we get that done, then we go to the next position or positions and,
Well, the position, we dealt with water a few months ago, so the positions
Yeah.
would be planning,
yeah,
us through here, and
so. We're
So,
about
I
to
mean,
lose our clerk. I'm
It's
thinking
volunteer, right?
she, there's a piece,
The planning,
uh,
the other.
Yeah, we're
I would agree.
Is the town in a position
Let's
though,
start.
like,
Let's
to
get
get
Yeah.
a clerk,
Then
a
we can have
full-time, you know, when, that, like you said, you want to entice somebody that's young and enthusiastic and that, are they in a position that they could provide benefits?
Not just double the salary.
you know, and that's
I
what,
mean,
that's
because
what I was
benefits
looking
is
for.
everything,
Yeah.
benefits is, you know, to get somebody in there as a long-term thing, if you have benefits, you have,
Being a teacher, I tell you, a lot of
Yeah.
teachers teach, not for the money.
exactly,
For the benefits.
I know,
And that's right.
exactly. So I just
Yeah.
wondered if that is a thing,
That's
you know.
Is there, I'll make sure that Daniels is eligible for public health insurance, PHP, like the school teachers and other municipalities use.
We could sign up and meet certain criterias, and get involved in that, and that's certainly been on the horizon one day, once again.
How many employees would you have that would like qualify?
Like what, now we have
for the
one,
full-time-ish?
so, over time, I would think more, but right now, I think it's one.
So that may not be viable.
Would your position be full-time, Lynn? Are we to that point,
40 hours a week?
40 hours?
I don't think somebody would put in 40 hours.
Not quite 40 hours.
About 30.
30, yes.
What I'd like to propose is that each of you guys, how many hours do you spend a week? You're gonna go on the low side, I know, but pick out how many hours. I mean, I get 10 phone calls a day, they take me 30 minutes, write that down, and do this, and then bring that information to us on how many hours you realistically spend. And then, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks an hour is cheap, but figure it out and see what number we come up with.
So, I don't have that in front of me. You got the planning report. How many hours?
You had
98, right?
90 something.
51
And that's a month.
That's per month, yeah. So that average, I gave you, the 1071 was last year. John wanted me to keep track of my hours, so I did that over the year and then I
Yeah, yeah.
divided that. And that's how I come up with the 1071, it's the year average last year.
So what is that?
That's
for a week?
$24.50 or $2,500 a month. Now, and then once we figure out how many hours you're actually working, we have Eric's, and then pick $20, 25, whatever, pick a number, and then you get a yearly, and then we say, okay, now, where, do we have that money? Do we need to raise property taxes? What do we need to do to raise that money?
That's the other thing that I'm thinking, if we address this, taking one or two at a time.
But at the rate we go,
Because-
we'd never get
It's,
it.
it's been going on for
Because-
months, huh?
Yeah, then so that when we get to the next increase on property taxes, that we're ready
Or
to,
something.
because we've already got some funds in there right now to take care of it. You know, the immediate is Lynn's. Next is Eric's, and how have we got funds to take care of that, and then we've got to see what more we need and what we need to increase the property taxes to adequately take care of it, and take it a step at a time.
Do we have income anywhere else, other than property taxes? Is that where our income basically comes from?
Well, we got telecom tax, we have a whole little list of incomes that we have, not just outside of water. We have a road fund for roads, we have our.
Right, but the funds that go to certain, to pay salaries.
Sales tax.
Sales tax,
Telecom
okay.
tax.
General fund, yeah.
Comcast is coming in.
I think it was all west,
They're all that.
but that's okay, Comcast, that. Anyway, that would be, just, I mean, I think we should do something. I think we've waited too long.
And the budget is online and you can look at our revenues.
And I was here for some of the meetings, and I probably still have the paper somewhere, but,
If you don't
I'm
start
still
raising
learning.
them now, you're gonna get shell shocked later, because I don't know if you remember when Paul Mitchell ran the pool for years and years. And the school district advertised was even a raise from what he was making at the end of his career, and they could not get a person to fill it. They had to raise that like by double, and you know how a budget, that's gonna
It's
slam you
gonna,
hard.
it's gonna be similar to what we're looking at Storm Haven.
Exactly, you're
We've
going to
got
find the
there's
budget's
another
not there
example right
without
there.
like drastically increasing, so you need to increase now, even if it's
Painful.
Yeah, we
a
got some
smaller
available.
amount, but
We
just
need
keep
to-
it gradually going.
So the next one that we start, raise that up, go from there.
If we doubled everybody's salary, where does that put us in for next year?
It doesn't do anything, really.
Triple it,
That's one and a half of what she says it should take for,
then triple it, what would that, where would that put us?
well, you have to
Needs to
quadruple it
quadruple
to
it.
meet her
So
24,000. She makes $600.
when we did budget, we anticipated kind of X. I believe what we're talking about will fit in with what we budgeted somewhere. Now, I don't know the amounts, and I can't add it all up right now, you know, maybe X go here and there, but I do believe that we knew monies were gonna be increased for positions, and we've accounted for X. So for next meeting, we'd need to bring out that budget again and see what money's on that line item we have, and that will help us divide, I guess, into
agree.
some monies that
Just find out how much money's available and then work with
we've
it.
already approved, and we
Because
have increased it.
you're just kind of pulling it out of the
I didn't
budget.
really put 30 in, right?
More than that. Which category?
And payroll.
Payroll is $95,000 on next year's.
So we added 30 over what we had, right?
Maybe a little more.
Well, it's more than that. So you have 30,000 to play with,
Right.
So,
to increase between however many
Everybody.
people you decide.
so maybe the next year we need to increase that to 50 or 60,
I think that's where you start.
and then
How are you gonna
get
do
it
that?
raised up.
I think that number sticks in, when we put 30 in, because we knew this was coming down.
Yeah, that's what's coming.
We're close, we're moving forward.
You got a raise coming, sooner or later.
John, I know you're doing some calculations, did you?
No, I found my letter and I stand by it, I understand.
You do?
It did not mean to be offensive. I'm happy to read it to anybody who'd like to read it.
We'll leave it another
I'd
time.
rather read it on my own time.
Yeah, oh, I understand, but it did not mean to be offensive, and just to try to lighten your workload. I think that's what it says.
Any more on item 16 for discussion on employee compensation? Where do we want this to go tonight?
I make a motion that we continue this in the next meeting.
In the interim, find out how much money is only available, and then you can figure out.
We know that number.
Like 30,000, right?
We know
No,
30,000.
we have 95, 30 was just
Oh, you
more than
need
30
to
was
have
an
a-
increase from last year. So we actually have 95 in
We have
that
to have a
particular
hearing for that.
category.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, so,
But we spent 95. I mean, we spent
60 or
60, yeah, we have 30,000 to increase. Increase, right.
so,
30,000 spendable. I make a motion that we decide how
Spend
to
it.
spend that 30,000, maybe not decide it tonight, but we decide to spend that 30,000 in the next fiscal year.
Agreed.
And I think we agreed, I think that's why we put that in there in the budget already. But we gotta get something down so we can have a public hearing. We have to go to a public hearing with
Oh,
this.
I know.
yeah,
So
So-
let's make percentages then.
so can we do a public hearing for the next, town meeting?
Well, you better have numbers.
Gotta have numbers.
Yeah, the numbers first going to ask you, what, 20, how many days for public hearing? 14 versus a normal 7, right?
If you tripled the salaries, what would that amount to per year?
Would that be more than 30,000?
Well, I just doubled their salaries and I was just trying to, but I keep
Right now,
listening,
it's
getting
60-something, so
interrupted.
if you double them, that'd be
Well,
101.
let's
Pam?
I'm almost on it. Math is not my excellent.
The salaries listed in the warrants, or what I say I
Last
make,
year, they spent about 60, so if
then
you
there's
double it, it'd be
withholding and
101.
social security and the matching
But I don't
funds, so
think you can double
it's
everybody.
actually more than
Yeah, I agree.
$600 a month.
This is what you bring
We've
home,
already taken care of it.
City plan.
No,
That's
this
the
is
gross.
gross.
But
This is
there
what
are
we said to
other
the
Taxes come off.
taxes.
Comes off of that $800 a month you make.
Yes.
Gosh, that's
We
good.
send it all to the IRS, because they're gonna take.
Thanks,
money.
you're a lot of help.
I mean,
That's pitiful. That's pitiful,
We
she
feel so good
says.
about ourselves.
you guys are awesome, but your
You
salary is
dumbasses.
pitiful. Yeah. You guys deserve at least $11 an hour.
Hey, Eric,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
hey, Eric, what do you think about the possibility of you delegating some of these things that you think some of the others or people who volunteer can take some of the load off of you?
Who,
We just talked about
who are
that.
you talking about?
Bill, he already
He's
said that
talking
he
about
doesn't feel
himself,
as
he
capable.
would help him.
We don't have anybody that steps up. We have board openings. We can't get people to fill boards, planning boards.
We still got no.
We have board of adjustments.
But I understood it that you just didn't think people would know how to do it anyway.
Trust me, our planning commission is awesome.
Yeah.
There is such a mix of people in there that when things come out of there, they have been
They fully
worked through.
We may not know
They
much, but we
are
work
awesome.
hard.
And at the planning commission, I don't vote there. I'm the chair, so I don't vote there, I vote here on the council. These folks do awesome work, and they're a great group, and there's different angles, and everything seems to be brought out in there, and it's a great board. We have a board of adjustments, we've only had 2 board of adjustments, and I attribute that to planning. They do such a good job that nobody wants to appeal their decisions. But we've had 2, and I believe both of those have been very fair. I think we have an awesome, the caliber of people in Daniel is
So you need more people to step up as board members?
That's what we need.
Okay, well, I didn't catch that before, so thank you.
Yeah, we have awesome people in Daniel, and I think that's reflected in every one of our hearings we have, valuable people. I
So-
think the town of Daniel is awesome.
Okay, so
And that's why I do what I do.
No, but I didn't understand from all this discussion that you need more board members.
We just need people to step up.
There you go, okay, cool.
So another comment that I'm sure is gonna be taken as offensive, but we are nuts to put so much responsibility on one person. We should have other people involved. There, things.
But if they don't wanna be involved, how do we get
We
them?
pay them, we get them involved.
Okay, so I just did the math. I doubled your salary, I doubled your salary, and I doubled your salary.
And we
Only
can
doubled
afford
it.
that.
Huh?
We can afford that in the 30,000.
32,400 for doubling.
I did it too.
But that's only double.
What
That's
was
still
it,
nothing.
34,000?
32,400 is what I got.
With the 30,000, we can double those salaries
Those
this
three
next
doubled
year.
it.
Well, it's a start.
I think that's better than nothing. Barely, sorry.
It's a big start. Eric
It's
would
a
go
start.
from 10 to 20.
But it's a
That's-
start.
That's huge.
Okay, so that's something to do, so there's a start.
So there's a public hearing.
Okay.
So we got Ryan,
I just had a suggestion, I don't know if
Cool,
we'll,
no.
well, my suggestion, since Lynn's leaving, I think that's a more urgent problem,
Yeah.
like it or not.
Bingo.
Sorry, Eric. But if we took the money, if we said, you said 24, we rounded that down to 20, and then gave the rest, took the rest of it, whatever money we can find, and give that to Eric for this year, which isn't gonna get you anywhere near where it should be, but it's a step in the right direction. That's all the money we have for this year. And then the next budget, get the, hopefully the clerk will be about where it needs to be, get the planner up, and
But
Sorry,
Mike,
and-
if we
and-
do that,
in the process, I was gonna
Sorry.
suggest right now we're paying the council members for the meetings, and to your point, I realize you all voted to hire me, that we go ahead and, suspend that to make, get a little more money for this year's budget to try to get that planning salary up a little bit. I mean, $50 a month isn't gonna make much difference, but every bit helps.
no, but I don't know that that would be fair to Eric to pay our what do we call it, recorder, $20,000 and keep Eric at whatever he makes a year.
Well, we get,
Well,
You to 20,
but
that's
Eric-
14,000 more, right? Or to get your position, because it wouldn't be you. But 14,000,
Does that make
so that
sense?
leaves another
And that's-
Eric,
16.
Eric
15.
needs
Yeah,
Lynn's position, so he's got something to,
Well,
I'm not trying to make
No,
make
I
the
need
suggestion because
somebody
I think
in
it's
this
fair, right?
position.
Yeah.
But we're stuck with,
It makes
we're
sense.
stuck with how much money we've got, and we have a hole that's gonna open up really fast. And so,
so let's start a piece
and
of
I'm not
it.
saying that's right, but if the council member get rid of, that little bit of money, it's a few bucks anyway. We pay the new recorder, whatever, what it takes to get a
Yeah,
recorder, because without it, we're kind of in trouble.
Yeah,
And then give the rest of the money to Eric, because I think we can all agree that no matter what the number is, giving the rest of the money to Eric, he's still way underpaid.
and the next.
But it's the best we can do for the next 11 months,
but I
Yeah.
think that number turns out to be about 15,000 that we could give Eric.
which is a significant
Which
bump.
is
It's nowhere near what it should be, but it's a
It's
significant bump.
more than, well, it about doubles, right?
It's a little bit.
About doubles your salary?
I don't know, we haven't even,
I don't know.
I don't know what I make. If I focus on what I make, I'm gonna quit.
Yeah. That's my knowledge now.
$1,300 a month,
Yeah, 1,300 a month.
so
So another
that
14,000 would be
that
a little
comes-
over 1,000 a month.
comes close to not quite, but it comes real
Well,
close.
it'd help. And it's a move in the right direction. I think that's where we need to be. Take care of Lynn's position
the whole, the
first,
biggest.
and then take care of Eric's what we can, and then the next thing, we have to raise
Well,
our
I
regular.
think what we're gonna start is a ripple effect. I think our water guys are gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, and we gotta get our water guys up too.
Well, but we just did the water guys not
We
too long
did.
ago, right?
Right.
So I'm saying, to solve the problem tonight, we plug the biggest hole that we have coming, and then
Yeah.
use all the extra money is the number we come up with for the planning director, is at least
And we still need
starting
to-
in the right direction.
We still need to have a public hearing to do this, correct?
We do, we need to have our plan before we have the public hearing.
Yeah, so.
I think we're
let's
leaving
make
out
our
main
plan.
I go along with that recommendation, so just go forward
We're
with it.
leaving out Chip,
We did.
and I don't think that's right. I think the mayor, I don't know about Chip, but the mayor,
He has to work with me.
he has to work with.
That should be 1,000 right there.
And the rest of us, but he needs to be included, or that's.
That's why I said those three, we only have 30,000 to work with. Maybe we can find some
10,000
other
each.
money.
What if we
somewhere else.
split
But I don't know
that
if you're
three
gonna get a new
ways?
clerk for 16.
That won't be enough for Lynn's position.
To fill Lynn's position.
16,000, you don't think we get
Enough to
somebody?
attract somebody.
No.
What is that?
We got Lynn
I
for
would do that for
400.
double.
I agree that
That's because she
whether it's
wanted
14,
to.
16, or 18, and it's gonna be in that range somewhere. I mean, Lynn was at 4 to 6, and that was,
Face of world an anomaly.
no one knew what you're getting into, and and now we do.
Does the recorder have to be a resident of Daniel?
No.
It could be somebody from the valley.
The only drawback is that we do not have a town hall. We need to have a physical location for the
people
town of
to-
Daniel.
Yeah.
And to this point, it's been the clerk's home, Duggan's
Yeah.
and now me.
And all the
You-
paperwork and all the files, I mean, she's got a room
You
full of
have to
it.
have it, an address for the town, and so if the clerk doesn't live there, and you have to
How about a storage unit?
somewhere else.
That's almost
You know what,
double.
that's been thought about.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Just
double,
throw a dang
right?
stuff in
The
there.
15,000 doubles what you're making now.
Yeah, I make 72.
Yeah, 7,200 a year's worth.
So that doubles that wage.
We got 30,000
all you can do is, put the feelers out there and see if you get a, put a hook out and see who
I
bites.
have a
Okay.
second.
Well, and that's the hard
line
thing to
that's
do, you
the
can't put a
town
feeler out there,
It's
hey,
just
what, you wanna
piggybacked
work
on
for
mine.
$400?
So. if-
Or how much will you work for?
Yeah.
I says, that's hard to do, put a feeler out there, you wanna try to work for $400 a month?
Well,
Yeah.
Sure, sign me up.
That's about 70
all I
bucks a
can
month.
think of is all the stuff that you guys aren't able to do at
And
home,
I-
so
What
busy
do
doing
we
town
use
stuff.
at the shop? We use.
Someone could come wash your clothes, clean your bathroom,
Yeah.
mow your lawns.
Beat my wife back there in back
Maybe we could do it on the backside.
But I had to get on that. because
So can we do
So-
anything for the
Yeah.
next meeting?
I got a motion.
Okay,
Okay,
Chair will entertain a motion.
motion.
I
Yeah.
make a motion that we take the $30,000 that we have extra and give 10,000 to planning, mayor, and recorder.
Okay,
And then, that's for now, we look at it
Next
next
one.
year.
Next.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Just where I say I may have a conflict of interest.
That means I do, and that means everybody else does.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
enough to get
I'll
our
vote for that.
recorder, to get a town recorder.
I think it doubles what we got.
It doubles what
Something, it's
there
something
is.
right now.
Yeah, I think.
I think it's good we're gonna get at the moment.
And then when you do the budget, you plan for increases, so you know, we're working on this, it's a work in progress. But this is what we can do now.
Lynn, what is your opinion of getting somebody to handle this for 10,000 more than what you're getting
I
now?
don't know, John. I don't know if we're gonna get somebody
Even,
step up to it for,
Million.
yeah.
yeah.
Do you have an alternate plan if you find you can't get
Well,
someone for that?
Lynn,
Well,
obviously, I don't just
a
walk
slush
out.
fund.
Lynn, did you have,
Oh, you better shouldn't say that.
Well,
Flattening her tires.
3 years from now?
Yeah, a few years from now, here's Lynn. Will somebody please take this job?
She does all of the.
I'm gonna second that motion.
Yeah, I seconded it already.
okay, so we have a first and a second, do we have any discussion on that motion?
Yeah, but that's.
Plan a public hearing.
Without discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. We will set a date for a public hearing. Next available, what was it? So, I guess we got it combined with,
Yeah,
How
do it with
pack's our
another
next
public
meeting?
hearing.
Well, what's the minimum? 2 weeks?
14 days,
Yeah.
14 days.
Once you
It
do
can
it
be on
14
7.
No, let's do it,
Next meeting.
yeah.
Everyone's used to that Monday, or that Monday meeting, yeah.
Yeah, see them all.
Sorry, Eric, you have to wait.
Dang, I won't be here.
You won't? And we're gonna need you here.
I know, you need me.
How much is
What's
your
wrong with
flight-
you
how much-
people?
How much is your flight back?
Huh?
How much is your flight back?
I'm driving to Colorado. Where's-
Okay.
How much is your ride back?
do your motion.
Unless you ride the horse back.
I did.
We did.
Yeah,
You
might
did,
as well
okay.
for us to do
Okay.
a second.
Perfect.
We made that
Is there a second?
motion, we're setting
It's over.
a
Vote
plan
on
for our next, public hearing for the next, council meeting, which will be
August.
the July, excuse me, the August 7th.
Cool.
So moved?
So moved.
Need a second on that, set the public hearing?
Oh, second.
Okay, we have a first and a second on the public hearing. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Cool.
Public hearing that is scheduled. And had to get work through 16, that was tough, thank you.
That was a tough one. It's been a tough one though. Keep hammering
Good
it.
job.
My goodness, wow, geez, it's not enough, but maybe a start.
Okay, we got item 17,
And we got
approval
the public hearing.
of minutes for June 5th, 2017.
I've been through that, I know.
Okay. June 5th.
You guys can pass that without me.
It's almost your
I know.
bedtime now.
I got one animal.
Shall I entertain a motion with regards to the minutes?
I have one correction.
Okay.
We have, it says, and I can't, I'll just look it up on this one. My marked one's not right here in front of me, so. Regarding the spray,
Sprayer.
Bottom of page 3.
Bottom of page 3.
Yeah,
Discussion of public works.
we council, okay, increase the trash, 2,000 for one time. And here, this is on readings and
Yes. There's something about the license. A non-chemical pesticide license, so we're on page 4 at the top.
Uh-huh.
That's a non-commercial pesticide license.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes with that correction of on page 3 to non-commercial from non-chemical.
Okay, we have a motion on the minutes with the correction. Do you have a second?
Second?
So a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? If none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Minutes carried for June 5th.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn tonight.
We saw warrants going.
Oh,
Yeah.
got one.
I'm usually.
I withdraw my,
We'll turn the time over to Lynn.
As soon as the warrants are done, it's just.
Oh, yeah, it says the warrants are done.
We'll be ready.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you've got them there in front of you.
my God.
Towns presented in June for the town of Daniel, reimbursed phone, staples, case of paper, 4 invoices to the Wasatch Way with a lot of public notices, things that were required to be in the paper with the budget and public hearings. Smith Hart-Vixen invoice. And I believe this was for the Carter Davis matter, although I didn't know he looked at it that early.
Where's that one at?
Smith Hart-Vixen on the first page.
Oh, there, yeah, okay.
216.
216.
The Department of Commerce's surcharge for building permits, it's done on a quarterly basis. We had over $20,000 in building permit fees collected, and it's a percentage, so that's the amount that we have to send in. But there again, that is another source of income. The liability insurance policy premium is due, and invoices listed for GDA, including one under Public Works and the 2 in the water departments, which were for the sampling. Blue Stakes quarterly was $75.90. There's your high one that you thought might have hit last time for all the Blue Stakes going on.
Yeah, we had a ton of them come through. You guys probably seen all the blue paint all over the map.
I thought you went on a binge.
The total there will be reduced by $50 because Councilmember Bateman is not present, so $12,680.24 is your total. Then municipal, CenturyLink, Heber Power, GDA engineers, the property insurance premium is also due for the facilities at the pump house and then the smaller facility at Storm Haven. Bought a box of envelopes which were divided between the 2 water companies for Kathy Joe testing. The $60 charge for both water companies was the retest, where Ryan mentioned you have to do 3 bases. So that was higher than expected. Storm Haven, Questar Gas, Heber Power, the Mountain Land Supply is the 2 setters that Kim asked and talked about in the last meeting that weren't reading correctly, so he did go ahead and get those and get them installed.
So we have backflow preventer going into.
Yes,
Awesome.
and your water sampling and payroll.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on that? If not, the chair will entertain a motion on the awards.
Make a motion motion to accept the warrants.
Okay. First and a second, any other discussion on warrants? None, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Warrants carried. Thank you. And item 19.
Now I make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
We have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
And then a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Meeting is over and closed. Thank you, gentlemen.
Is it too late to entertain a complaint?
Is there,
Yeah, it's always too late to
no,
entertain
but
a
is this
complaint.
the arena where you talk about putting in like a speed monitor thing? Like maybe next meeting?
On 3000 South, it occasionally becomes a racetrack. And we'd like to
On
know,
your end too?
Occasionally, you should come down to my end.
Is this the kind of arena
I
that
have
bring that
a,
stuff
I'm
up?
setting up a meeting with the sheriff on traffic in our town for pedestrian, bicycles, cars. It's getting crazy out there.
It's the noise ordinance too, though, because the speeding car makes a lot of noise. You know, and I came here for peace and quiet. I've offered to stand topless in front of my house with the sign saying slow down, to see if it'll work, but then I'm just afraid I'd get
You
arrested.
know, it's probably gonna work for a while.
Well, as long as the mayor says it's okay,
Well,
then
at
I'm
least for the
worried.
dad truck.
There's a tank in that area of the master plan. Wrong entities, but at least there's a tank.